Hello everybody, another non-health and fitness video. So if you're new to my channel and you're into health, fitness, and science, check out my other videos. And today I was talking with a boy who recently got out of the army, and he was a tank driver in the Belarusian army, which of course made me think of Ukraine and all of the Russian tank drivers there, who for all intents and purposes, are the same as the Belarusian ones. The only difference is they're currently in Ukraine right now, getting killed. And it's a shame because I think they probably don't grasp that they're gonna get killed. Because if they aren't careful, they'll be going down a street because they're there with orders not to hurt anybody, and they think they're all brothers. They do really all seem to be the same people. But then some Ukrainians throw Molotov cocktails at them and they get killed. I actually don't know if everybody realizes that when you throw Molotov cocktails at a tank, that you're killing somebody. It's not an inanimate object. There's actually a person in there. So if that tank is not shooting at you or shooting at people, and you throw Molotov cocktails on it, you just kill somebody for no reason. So yeah, I was talking with this Belarusian boy tank driver. He said what everybody says. Belarusians, Russians, and Ukrainians are all one people. So many people have relatives all throughout all three of the countries. Very common. Not much more to say. He has no bad feelings towards Ukraine or Ukrainians. Why would he? They're his brothers. He doesn't want World War III. That would be very bad, of course. Hopes that things don't get bad. I was telling him how in the West they make Russia seem evil, and Belarus also, and they try to make everything about Russia and Belarus seem evil. And he's like, yeah, I've heard it's crazy, like we're just normal people, normal countries. Because really they're not doing, like Russia doing a military operation in Ukraine is, anybody dying for any reason is not good, including in a military operation. But it's really not different from what the United States does all over the world, from what Britain does all over, France, Australia, Canada. Every country does military operations. It's just that when Russia does them, the Western world and their media machine spins out the propaganda that Russia is committing war crimes, just slaughtering people, evil Putin went mad and he's Hitler and he just wants to kill everybody. But yeah, if the United States goes to Yugoslavia and bombs them, that's a humanitarian mission. The United States goes to Afghanistan, let's to get rid of terrorists. Now Russia says they're getting rid of terrorists, but no, that's not true. Russia's not getting rid of terrorists. Russia's committing a war crime. See how it works out that two groups, two countries, do the same things, but what they do is described in completely different words. And the media makes one seem good and one seem bad. I'm not saying either is good or bad. I'm just saying that they're the same. So yeah, this Belarusian tank driver, no bad feelings towards Ukraine or Ukrainians, says they're all one people, has no bad feelings towards Americans either. That's another thing. Most Americans think that Russians hate Americans and it's like dangerous in Belarus or Russia. Because like if they find out you're an American, they will go after you, they'll attack you. Oh yeah, if they see an American with a Belarusian girl, they're gonna get mad and jealous and attack you. Sure, maybe it's gonna happen somewhere. I'm sure it will happen somewhere eventually. For somebody. Does it happen usually? No. Have I I ever had it happen? No. Have I ever had anybody actually express bad stuff towards me because I'm an American? Literally, no, not even once. I've had Ukrainians be rude to my fiance for being Belarusian, but I've never had people be rude or mean to me for being an American. So yeah, Belarusian tank driver likes Americans, likes Ukrainians, likes Russians, thinks Russians, Ukrainians, Belarusians are all one people, and that, yeah, what more is there to say? Russia's not going there and slaughtering them. Why would they kill their relatives? They're not going to go and slaughter their relatives. And also, like, if people like to say, but Ukraine is like, they are all resisting, they're all fighting Russia. It only takes I'm not saying that it is a very small percentage of the population, but it only takes a very small percentage of the population to be on the streets fighting, that it can seem like everybody's doing it. Look at the United States in the last couple years with the Black Lives Matter and Antifa people. If you were not knowledgeable that most people don't agree with that, and you just saw it or you watched the news, but see, everybody hates America. They all want to get change things. No. Most people don't hate America. Most people don't want to change things. I mean, we want to change them, but opposite of how the Black Lives Matter and Antifa people want to change them because they've already done too much damage to our country. Now imagine if you gave all those Black Lives Matter and Antifa people rocket launchers, automatic weapons, tanks, jets. It'd probably look a lot like Ukraine. Now, I'm not saying that they're similar situations, but just imagine that you take a small percentage of the population that is very much against what most people are for, and you arm them. It's gonna look like a disaster. Like the people, if you're ignorant, you go see the people are uprising. We need to help them overthrow, do what they want to do, and yeah, the people that are against it, they're bad. When in reality, most people that are just the good people mind their own business, worry about their own life, and they're not trying to do all that stuff. I'm not saying Ukraine is the same. I'm just saying in terms of it only takes a small percentage of the population to look like a big amount of people, and it can do a lot of chaos. So, is the resistance in Ukraine representative of the whole country? Of course not. Maybe it is. But just because you see widespread resistance does not at all mean or suggest that it's some large amount or majority of the population. Most people are staying in their homes. You may go, but they're all fleeing. No, they're not all fleeing. 500,000 out of 40 million. It's not all of them. Most of them are just staying put, not doing anything, waiting for it to end. Decent sized group, still a very small percentage, is leaving. And an even smaller, little tiny percentage is fighting against the Russian troops and killing them. And sadly, it's mostly Ukrainians killing Russians because the Russians are there to do whatever they're doing. I'm not going to get into what they're doing. And the Ukrainians are killing them. If you look at the official statistics, it confirms this. It's not Russians killing Ukrainians, it's Ukrainians killing Russians. Yeah, I'm pretty sure most of the Russians have no bad feelings towards their relatives in Ukraine or the other Ukrainians. Most Ukrainians probably didn't have any bad feelings towards Russians. Now, I'm pretty sure now they have worse feelings, and I've heard people tell me this, that even their relatives that are in places that are completely safe because they're not attacking civilians, they're not bombing their homes, they're not happy about it because their life is getting disrupted Would you like it if there were bombs going off nearby? If, like, your work stopped? Or your school for your kids is no longer... Like, no, you'd be pissed. Like, I don't want my life being screwed up. Let it go back to how it was. So yeah, more people are getting angry. And by the way, certain people told me that kind of situation that I just told you, and their relatives there were very pro-Russian. And they still believe that they're all one people. They have nothing against Russia, but they are annoyed that their life is getting disrupted. So yeah, the tank drivers, they're just normal boys, 19, 20 years old. They're in their homeland, basically, with their brothers and sisters, just going down the streets thinking that they're just in any other part of Russia, basically, but getting killed. Sad.